What's up? Hope you had yourself a great week. I know I did. Obviously, there was no show yesterday. Haven't done the afternoon show in 2 freaking days. I am so glad to be back in action and chatting with the crew here. Happy Friday. Happy Pizza Friday. Hope your internet works. If it doesn't, I don't know how you're listening. Or you're probably catching on the replay when the Microsoft works for you. I don't know. I don't really want to talk a whole lot about that because I'm not like really a general understander of what's happening in the Windows and Microsoft world. It's really not. I'm a Mac guy. That's why everything works. Apple, everything worked. So kiss my ass, Windows. I don't even know what that means. But GM fam, hope you had a great week. Mr. Dude, how have you been?
I'm fantastic. You know? Ooh, gonna mute me though.
You are muted here.
I got that double.
Oh, mute the tab, maybe the window.
Mute tab. Oh, there we go. There we go. Just one of my stupid voices. I am doing fantastic.
Boom. There you go.
The only windows I'm usually afraid of are those open Russian ones. So this is pretty wild.
Yeah. Do you think this has anything to do with Russia or China? So,
no.
What's up? What's up, brother?
Not much. You know, one thing I've learned in the crypto space, in the technology space, when they come out so quickly to say that it's Russia or China, it probably isn't Russia or China. Probably because you never just, it's always the distraction over here, what it is. It's probably some dude in, Hungary in the basement of his mother, his mother's home, sitting there doing something. So
I apologize to the people that are watching the live stream. I thought I had the Web3 breakfast Twitter space up, X show, whatever. But no, I have my trade that I have on Femex currently down $83 on. I'm waiting for Bitcoin to make that big rip. I think it's going to go up today. Big time. I'm ready for it. What do you guys think? So, but I did.
Nashville would be good.
Yeah, the pre-conference pump. Pre-conference pump's got to start. I mean, I think we got to be 70K by the time the conference is in full swing.
Or if it's like crypto, the more good news you share, the lower the price goes, right? We got some great stuff. We got ETFs. Oh, everybody liquidated down 24%. And then in the second everybody's negative about like cryptocurrency, right? It fucking moves.
Well, that's the shakeout, man. They just try to it's just a constant game of shaking out the weak. But remember, if you've got those hands and you've got your conviction in this entire ecosystem, like don't start selling. I mean, if you need to take profits, that's one thing, but don't start selling. Like it's about ready to get wild and crazy. Like you haven't seen anything yet.
You can manipulate for so long, right? Then eventually there's this thing called fundamentals, right? And then those come into play. And once the fundamentals come in play, the rest is the rest, right?
Let me ask you a question. Like when people say like the fundamentals haven't changed, right? Like the fundamentals haven't changed. Like what does that exactly mean?
Well, the fundamentals have drastically changed in the crypto space. I mean, before, right, you didn't have ETFs, you didn't have mainstream, big banks, BlackRock sitting there, this is, I was wrong about Bitcoin. I think it's good now, right? So the fundamentals have drastically changed. So when you have the outside influence of these major financial institutions saying, we like Bitcoin, you have governments saying, we like Bitcoin, you have other things saying, we're going to allow cryptocurrency to flourish. Well, the fundamentals have changed because it's now gone from this rogue, fringe, crazy kind of like investment
cypherpunk movement
to mainstream. So the fundamentals have changed. Now, when the fundamentals change, what does that do? It puts pressure on what? The price, because there's a limited supply. So once you shake out the people that are, selling, then the true fundamentals start to take place and you get more of organic price action on crypto.
Right. Doug, did you hear? I think it was yesterday. There was some announcement that Trump's going to make. He's going to talk about something at the conference, and it has to do with kind of keeping. And hopefully, we all know that the U.S. government's like the, quote unquote, the largest holder of Bitcoin in the world. But instead of selling that off like they typically do, the whole idea is to create a reserve, right? And so it may be like this is supposed to be an announcement at Bitcoin conference. I'm not. This is something I heard yesterday. So
Right.
So we'll have to
I
wait.
think it's going to be similar. I think it's going to be similar to like what you have with gold reserves.
Yeah.
Right.
And then start backing.
If you
start
have
backing
why does like Fort Knox, right? I mean, there's no gold in Fort Knox anymore. But again, there was a time when the United States actually had gold reserves. Why? And what are they doing? It's maintaining the support of the value. Because if they just sold all that gold off into the market, right, it would crash it. So the same thing with cryptocurrency. So if you have massive financial institutions and governments start to store cryptocurrency, well, what happens? It gives stability. And then that's how you maintain a bull run that continues on and on and on. Because we lose our bull run, it goes right to the bear, right? Because somebody at the top says, fuck you all. I'm liquidating it all, Buffy. We're going to go to the Bahamas, you know?
It's pretty crazy, though, that like this rumor of an announcement comes out like, what, 2-3 days after Germany dumps all their Bitcoin? And America's just like, haha.
Oh, as it turns out, the U.S. was sitting there with the buy button as Germany was on the sell button. We just scoop. Why not?
Now, can you imagine, because most everybody in crypto, you got about 37 cents to your name, right? That's a crypto. But can you imagine governments competing for cryptocurrency? Not DJs, not our DJs. I'm talking about actual governments that compete for it, and then like the bragging rights of how much they have.
Well, so then
they're not willing to sell.
Then let me ask you. You said not our degens, but would that then make the governments the biggest degens on the planet if they get into a bidding war on crypto just to see who's got bigger balls? I love it. I'm all for this.
Yes. And the scary part is this. Right now, there's a lot of us that in the crypto space, what do we have? We have power, right? We have the tokens. And then you give up your power for your fiat currency, right? And then what happens? Where does it go? It goes to the big financial institutions and banks. So I think that is ultimately the master plan, because you can't have people in control of this type of rare, scarce asset. You have to have the governments be able to make the money. So if you hang on to your power and then you just give them little crumbs over time, I wonder what happens.
Yeah. Do you think
you may become rich?
There always was the thought that it was like just create your own versus adopt what's already been created, because of that same fundamental what you just said, right? Because you don't control the supply. But if over time you've found a way to accumulate that supply so that you do have the power, that would make sense. But how do you know? Like, unless we come out and say that we've got a reserve,
right? $1 million question. Yeah, it's $1 million question. Is like you don't know specifically, but I do understand like people giving up. Because back in the day, I've been in since 2011. Every single person back then, we all had 500, 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, let's say Bitcoin, 20,000 token wallets. I mean, because it wasn't much.
Right.
And all those people, including myself, have contributed to relinquishing our power and giving it to who we give it to. That's the million. Like, okay, now where did all those Bitcoin that I sold at, those 10,000 Bitcoin, whose hands are they in? So that's the crazy question, is like, who ultimately will end up winning this?
Yeah.
So I think your governments are going to be the ultimate winner, because the governments can just hold. And if they use it as a reserve, that will be, I think that's the key. You have to have the governments go into reserve if you want your $1 million Bitcoin, right? Because you can't just have banks and institutions just flipping it over and over again. You have to have somebody holding it and diamond handing, and I think your governments are going to be the diamond handed holders. So
I mean, that's
just my 3 cents.
No, dude. I mean, that's a couple Satoshi. That's a great couple Satoshi take for sure. Neil, go for it, brother.
Hey, man, I just wanted to kind of follow up on what you were talking about the pump hopefully coming up. Historically looking back at the monthly returns on the Bitcoin is it's positive for July, and it's also between 16 and 24%. So we're only at 2% what this thing's updated to, which I don't know how often it updates, but there could be a big pump coming.
Yeah, I'm listen. Same thing. We've like on Ben's show, and if you just like study and understand that, yeah, like you were saying, July is historically a really good month. I put in a 10x long right the other day, so in the 64s, and so I fully expect to have caught, and because it's only 10x and it's not like a huge position, my liquidation is like way low in the 50s, and I have another order that's larger than what I have set would catch before that if it does drop down there like a quick flash, which only strengthens the position anyway. But yeah, I'm fully expecting July to be a rock and roll month for us, and maybe even in September too. Who knows? But July has historically always been a good month, so get those trades in, baby.
Hey, here's a question from previous Bitcoin events. Are they always around this time as well?
So it's hopped around the time of year because it's moved around. And so when it was in Miami, I think the first couple years it was closer to the beginning of the year, if I'm not mistaken, only because of the weather. Like right now in Miami's trash. Like it's too fucking hot. But we have gone down there a few times in July and you sweat your balls off. But it is
okay. I was just curious if it was correlated to these July pumps that you've been talking about.
I would have to take a look and see historically. My memory does not serve me well in like every year, like what month this is. But I feel like
I could tell you it's a mixed bag. It's a mixed bag. Even like certain Septembers normally historically tend to be very negative on crypto, and October, November, December tend to be very positive. So I mean, again, it goes back and forth. I don't know. I mean, it's like I love the idea to think if we could take our history and apply it to our future, but I think there's so many variables in this now. I think we're just creating our own way that it won't trend necessarily based upon the past. I think we're just in a new era for crypto.
I agree with you, man. I think, the whole thing was, history doesn't repeat, it rhymes, right? And I don't even know if it rhymes anymore. I think we're at the point where we're starting to write a new verse, maybe. Potentially
that makes sense, and this could be the start of like the new chapter where let's say we fast forward 12 years from now, you start at like this date and you're like, well, whatever, the Trump pump, the BTC reserves, and then it goes forward in history now where people are like, oh, that's when the true era of crypto started, kind of like the industrialization era, I guess, right, if you call it that.
Yeah, like it's like our I was going to say Roosevelt moment, but that's not right. So don't quote me. Jacob, what's up, fam?
What's up, guys? I'm still thinking that we're still in the cycle until like the next 3 months pass. I think the next 3 months are really going to tell us if we're breaking the norm or if we're going to continue doing normal. Because in my mind, I think we're in a descending channel. I think we're still going to hit 52K, and I think we're going to go up around October, just based off. That's just my opinion. Like just looking at macro and then looking at like just history, and then based off last time bull run when I made my money off like XRP, it started running like ridiculously around September, October time. And I feel like it's going to be the same thing. I feel like everyone's going to be hyped up and it's not going to do what people think it is. So.
Well,
I mean, is it the election that really kicks it off, or is that what you're thinking, or what in that time frame makes you think that is it just a chart, or what do we?
I think the election has a big thing to do with it. I think just based off history, looking at the chart too, it does. I don't know. I feel like it still needs to go a little bit higher for it to get completely into a complete breakout. It just doesn't feel like last time yet. It still hasn't felt like it.
I gotta say, I took the clickbait this morning. I had seen like something pop up about the potential of Biden dropping out, right? And so I did one search, and there was a couple articles were saying, like some rumblings of it. So I went with it. Biden jumping out of the race. Put a little fun GIF in there, GIF, whatever you guys like to call it. Do you think now the whole question is like right now? I think there was the Trump pump, right? Because it almost seemed like that sealed the deal for November. Now there are talks about maybe Sleepy Joe does back out of the race. Who did they put in his place, right? Who's going to go up against while some people have their criticisms, and I get it, like I'm not saying that, but at this point, like he was shot giving a speech, right? No matter how you want to slice it or dice it. And so there's that iconic photo, like he's now like a hero, right? However people want to classify that. Everybody does their thing, whatever. So who do they put up against him? Who's going to take that chance, right? Obviously, it's not going to be Newsom. Newsom's not going to potentially lose his opportunity to win the next time. Like, who do they put up against him to even that would stand a chance? I mean, Kamala Harris does not stand a chance.
So,
yeah, they're gonna put a sacrificial lamb.
That's what it is. I mean, but why pull him?
Because it's too. And that's part of the thing. It may not be a pull. It may just be because they're just going to blame him.
Yeah.
Right. They're just going to blame Joe. And Joe will probably. I don't wish death on anybody, but I mean, realistically, statistically speaking, right? You're elderly, no matter what. He probably won't be around with us, 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now. So, yeah, it's better to blame it on that guy. Because whoever they put up, I mean, second of all, it's not even fair to the Democrats. Can you imagine, running, then all of a sudden, you're thrown into the spotlight, and then you're competing against the most populous president on the face of the earth. What's happened? It
right,
would
with no runway at all. Like
yeah, no runway. Here you go. We're gonna throw you out to the wolves and have at it. And yeah, I think they're gonna just allow it to go for what it is, and then try to recoup and resalvage. Get the Senate, get the Congress. In another 2 years, and then create as much havoc and chaos as they can. But it's.
I was gonna say
it's a weird dynamic.
As a Chicago Bears fan and a Cubs fan, we are very familiar with rebuilding years. And this is the Democrats, I think, are just going to do a rebuilding year. Right? You got 4 years.
I guess it makes sense to what MKid said there, right? Is like maybe a lot of these things are just like rumors, right? I know in like politics is always a game, so they're putting out all these rumors just to kind of see if the world, for example, takes up like one candidate. Is like, whoa, yeah, this one, then maybe they would do it. But if it's just like a mixed bag of like 20% this person, 30% that person, 20% this person, then they'll be like, okay, well, let's just let Joe stay in and, kind of let the chips fall where they may.
Because you're presenting an image, right? You have to present a consistent image to the people of strength and unity. And if you have basically a bunch of people in your party competing, because that's what like a primary is, right? That's why you have primaries literally, a year or 2 years before the election. That way everybody battles it out, and they talk all the shit, and then like how they hate each other, and then 6 months later, we're supporting him, he's the best candidate for our right?
Hey, you just called him a loser, and now
yeah
they're
right. Like, I hate this guy's a pedophile, and then they drop out there like, they have my full support, everything I said was a lie, I was just trying to win the game.
But is that not politics 101? You just like, what? Yeah. You just called this guy a scumbag, and now I was thinking he was a scumbag too, and now you lost, and now we're supporting him? What the hell?
I'm going to change the title of the space here. I did the space, not the space, the live stream. I like that Trump wants BTC reserve better than what we had.
Yeah. Hey, we got some hands here too. Dr. L. Don, welcome to the stage. Why don't you give us your opinion there?
Mic check. Good morning, guys. Can y'all hear me pretty good?
Yes, sir.
Good deal. I was rugging like crazy earlier. Just getting ready for work. Don't got any comments on Trump, the BTC reserve, because I didn't watch it last night. I was working late. But from what I hear, I love what's going on. So if we end up with the BTC reserve, hell yeah, super bullish. But I just want to come up here and talk a little bit about some TA and stuff like that, because I heard y'all talking about Bitcoin prices and things like that. I posted a little picture. I don't know if you guys like TA or not. I love TA. I'm a big trader, swing trader. I don't like to day trade, do things like that, but I look for logical entries and things like that. But on my picture, you can see how Bitcoin was the bulls defended the 200 EMA daily. That's a very strong indicator right there. And then dipped down below that white line around $58.4 thousand. It scared a lot of people. It even made me worried as a trader, because I'm like, dang, every time Bitcoin dumps below the 200 EMA daily and stays below it, it doesn't get good. But you can see if you go back in history and look, sometime last year, I think it was August, it broke above it and it stayed above it, and then it was being defended the entire time for like what 9-10 months, whatever, and it's just being defended. So to me, Bitcoin going under that indicator is big, and the bounce back was just beautiful. It made me extra bullish, and because there's a lot going on. The ETF that everyone has been waiting for was finally approved. I mean, people have been waiting years for that to happen. So history was made. Other indicators that were broken during cycles for me is the 0.618 Fibonacci. I don't know if anyone likes Fibonacci's or anything like that. Some people may like to talk shit and be like, oh, TA, blah, blah, blah. Well, you know what? If you're a logical trader, you're looking for entries and exits, you're going to use tools to make logical decisions. So that's how I like to roll. And in every cycle, that 618 has always been a resistance. So last cycle, it went up to it and then dumped back down. And I'm not going to lie, I even shorted Bitcoin, and I shorted it with a very big position, made some good money, but quickly got out because, bulls were strong, the news was strong, and I was like, nope, this is going to be a very, very short. And I'm glad I did because it just kept mooning, guys. So I'm super bullish. If you don't know TA, if you're into crypto and you want to trade, all I can say is educate yourself. Not financial advice, but education is key. And I love it when people hold spaces and just talk about crypto. Have fun, especially whenever there are red days, because people get a little emotional. And the best way to remove the emotional aspect from things is to get educated, surround yourself by good people, but just make logical decisions by educating yourself. So I appreciate you giving me the mic. The picture's down there. I'll drop some more TA later on.
Hell yeah, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, you're welcome to come back and talk TA anytime. And I also do a show at 4 p.m. Eastern that is a little bit more focused on like news and numbers. So if you ever want to come on that and look at some charts together, man, let's do that.
Absolutely. I'll do it today, man. I'll see you there.
All right. Adios. Hell yeah.
Peace.
Well, that's a great time.
Waddy's had his hand up.
I think he does.
Him up to the mic?
He does have a pit stand. So 1 second, Waddy, real quick before we get to you. This is a great opportunity for everybody. Shout out to you guys if you are watching over on the live stream. If you're watching the YouTube, smash the like. If you're watching on X, that's easy. Hit the heart. Waddy, go for it. Sorry, had to do our little PSA.
No, it's all good. What's going on, J. Mr. Duke, Gotti, and everyone here? So, no, I just wanted to comment on what Don said. See, TA to me is a 50-50 chance, but if you have experience on, and what I mean experience, I mean like at least 4 years studying the chart, you could more or less tell where is the TA going and what is the percentage of you being accurate. So the 618 level is usually the golden pocket zone, and usually that is a time to reverse. Whichever direction it is, it could be up or it could be down. Now, what I was going to say is that me personally, I do believe we could still touch around 71, 72. But I did say on my channel yesterday on my live stream, I was doing a little bit of TA there. And the thing is that it has to hold the support. When I woke up, it's actually holding the support. And right now, it looks like it's starting to move back up. So is it guaranteed that we're going to go 100K right now? No, I still believe by Q3, Q4, that's when we're going to see a massive run.
Do you think it'll have the election will play a lot to do with it, or it's inevitable?
Election is definitely going to play a big part. Like, for example, some people were saying, hey, man, God forbid, Trump would have got hit, then yes, it probably would have caused a massive Bitcoin dump. Why? Because we all know that Biden administration it's totally against crypto. So unless there would have been another pro crypto candidate to replace Trump, so by Trump winning, in my opinion, which I do believe he will win, um, then I could see a massive, massive bull run.
Mhm.
Meaning, last bull cycle, we lasted about 5 to 6 months approximately. Hopefully, this one we could maybe touch a year. You never know. That's why I believe in a super cycle, but it's just a theory.
It's not a bad theory though. I don't disagree with that. What's up, M Kid?
Well, I mean, I was just going to say, agree with what Waddy's saying. Election, most definitely. I think that's going to be a catalyst. And I think you're going to have a catalyst all the way up to it because they keep releasing the poll numbers. Like, hey, he's going to win this state. He's going to win this state. It's going to be a buildup. I think you're going to have maybe September, once people start to get back in the fall, they're not in summer vacation. The kids are back in school. Everybody's getting in the swing of things. And you just continually glued to the TV. Oh, Trump's doing this. He's doing well over here. This is the stuff. And then if he starts talking more and more about crypto, and if we find out he's going to do a reserve, I mean, you want to talk about adding a whole nother element that we've never had a BTC reserve. My God,
Do you think
we're talking next level shit here?
Well, for sure. I mean, like honestly, it does. From that point, then it's like the dominoes fall. Like other countries will start to probably do the same thing. Do you think that the digital dollar will be coming anytime soon? And will that be something that
can I say something? This is where I go anti-crypto. Governments in control of blockchain that they can turn on and off at the whim, and every single transaction under a microscope. This is make my little ass cheeks are puckering right now.
Yeah.
That makes me pucker.
But what if that's just the system though, right? What if that's just the system that you have to participate in, that like we all participate in normally, right? So that stuff, everything is known about, like with the IRS. But now, like your Bitcoin, Ethereum, Gotti, all of those stuff, like we can still have our ecosystem, and it's just an easier on-off ramp. It's just into the digital.
Well, that's the goal. I mean, that to me, I'm such a pro. I mean, like, hey, if you could go to JP Morgan Chase and have them have custodial custody over your tokens, if you so choose, that would mean what? That would mean the instant legitimizing of your DeFi tokens are legitimate assets that can be held by a financial institution.
Yeah.
So that right there blows the door to the roof. So that's positive as hell. The thing that scares me is political parties, and if you are a dissenting political party, say you're Republican or Democrat, and whoever's in control says, "Oh, this is hate speech," and they lock all your funds up. Ooh, that's where I get a little nervous.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely. And we know, you heard about things coming out of China where, they had expiration dates, so you couldn't save these, your digital money. And so you had to spend it or else they would just revoke it from you. Like some of that stuff is scary as shit, but that's why it's important to understand this whole DeFi era so that you could still participate in all of this. Yet, that's where, our bank accounts, our retirement, whatever, all that stuff that people in the normal monetary system live in now. It will be under probably tighter scrutiny, though. I don't know who had their hand up. I was not looking at my phone. Let's go Jacob, and then Dr. Don, and then Waddy. That might be the worst order, but that's what we're going with.
I want to see what your guys' opinions were. How funny you guys thought it was that Jamie Dimon the other day is acting like a chameleon and just totally changes his stance on Bitcoin, like just instantly.
Can I give you
go for it?
Can I give you a quick insight on that? Because I don't want to let you know. Because again, Wall Street background, guys. That's where I have a lot of connections in that. His stance has never changed. Yeah. His public stance has changed. The guy has always been pro crypto. See, that's how.
Okay, so that's what I'm talking about, everyone. His public is public thing.
Well, because he had to
He's been
keep the
collecting
price down.
Bitcoin for years and years. I would say maybe half a decade.
It's crazy.
See, that's the thing.
He goes down in history as being the best grifter of all time.
Correct. And all your financial institutions, your BlackRock, well, we don't really like Bitcoin. They've been acquiring Bitcoin for probably since, I think, 2017, 2016. So these guys have been around since the beginning, practically. Yeah, it's all public stance. They have to get, you guys have the power. See, that's the thing about people understand. Who has the power? Not the big banks, not the governments. The people have the power. All the miners, everybody in crypto. So what do? They just talk shit about it, market manipulate it down, so you give up your token, so you don't believe in it. And then when you do believe in it, where are you getting it from? You're buying it from them at top dollar. That's how it works.
They love capitulation.
Well,
they love when everybody capitulates.
They can be smart though too, right? Like these are very smart people who run these places where they can literally be like, I don't like Bitcoin, and they could be telling the truth, but they're like, but I'm smart enough to know that I can't stop it, so I'm going to buy it anyways.
I mean, it's the future too. I mean, you just know that's the direction it's going. Dr. Don, Dr. L. Don.
Dude, I love the conversations we're having in here, from CBDCs to, Damon talking crap about Bitcoin and crypto and all that stuff. And you guys are absolutely right. They got to create FUD to manipulate the price because they're just, they just wear masks. And on top of this, they have the money to blow, and what they want to see is adoption. Is this being adopted? And if so, great. Their investment, the return on investment is going to be great. They're going to be able to manipulate the price even more down the road. They're going to be happy. But it like I think it was Mr. Dude that said, it's up to the people. We have to find ways to adopt this technology, to adopt Bitcoin, whatever the hell you want to call it, because being able to make a transaction, being able to send $100,000, I can send Mr. Dude $100,000 in minutes to seconds from my wallet to his wallet without my bank knowing, without my bank's permission, without my bank freaking out. If you guys have ever tried to take out $100,000 from your bank, or have never tried, if you have that ability to, I dare you to go try. They're going to freak out. They're going to make you sign.
It's hilarious.
Exactly.
You just ask for $5,000. They're like, I don't know if we have that much on the side.
What are you going to do? Yeah, what are you going to do?
Ask for cash. That's even worse.
Exactly, dude. And it's just, oh man, now I'm fired up because, I went to the bank, deposited $10,000, and they're like, where did this come from? I mean,
it's none of your damn business.
Why does it matter? And I get it. They want to make sure, money's not being laundered or anything like that. I'm like, it doesn't matter. I just need my money in the bank, put it in there so I can make a transaction, and with crypto, whether you're using Solana, Ethereum, Bitcoin, whatever, a freaking meme coin, being able to just make a transaction, a permissionless transaction is just mind blowing, guys. So the adoption is up to us. How we use it is up to us. And then they will continue to either pour more money into the system to continue to evolve it because you have adoption and then you have evolution, right? So the question is, how is it going to be adopted, and then how is it going to evolve?
That was going to be the next leading thing into this is, all right, so what's the action plan, right? Like, we can't just sit here and speculate on coins. Like, this is like, I think the CTA, right, for all the builders and stuff. Like, we got to start thinking about how can we actually move this ecosystem forward so that it is presentable in that way that you're talking about, that it is adoptable. You've got the game. One of our verticals is gaming, right? Like, gaming's got to get their shit together, right? Like, obviously, I know that takes a long time, and so everybody gets that, but like that has to be like a priority, right? Like, that has to be one way that people can use blockchain technology that is provable, that helps the growth and scalability happen.
Exactly.
Trying.
And there's so much that can happen, man. I mean, with the Bitcoin reserve, like, my brain is just spinning, and it's like, okay, this can potentially legitimize what's it called, staking, on and off centralized exchanges, things like that. I mean, just remember, like, if anyone was involved with Gemini whenever FTX crashed, so many people they didn't lose their funds, but their funds were held for over a year and a half or 2 years. I don't remember. Because they were staking their coins. They were staking USDC, they were staking BTC, Ethereum. Everything was held, because of FTX crashing. But what I'm trying to get to is, what if the Federal Reserve is like, hey, well, we want to, offer staking, or what if the IRS, some government platform decides to offer a what's it called, a staking ability for citizens or anyone. The sky's the limit, and that's just how my mind works. It's like, well, what's next? How is this going to evolve? So yeah.
Can I give you a little insight? So basically, the majority of money would be coming from staking. It wouldn't be coming from individuals. It would be coming from financial institutions. So if a bank can go and stake BTC and get 5 or 6% return on it, that's where you're going to see the huge type of staking type of stuff.
Because if they were to offer it then to their clients, they'd have to offer you at like 1% so they could get the 4%, right?
Correct. And if you can start offering 3, 4, 5, 6, 7% APY back to customers on something that's secure, plus the value of Bitcoin is going up, so they're going to have the return on it plus the increased value of it. I mean, it's a win-win. And it goes farther than just crypto. Think about the economic booms. You talk about economic booms in countries right and left. You talk about prosperity. I mean, this truly is, because again, crypto is one thing, but you take your money out at some point, right? You got to be buying goods, homes, cars, restaurants. Just think how it, I hate to say this, trickle down, but it's truly a trickle down system, a capitalism. And you think about all the third world countries that are struggling and how much they can be brought up. I mean, it's going to be the world may forever change just with a BTC reserve. That's the catalyst that causes everything to change.
What I really hope is that by the time we get through this bull run, and I have, made whatever it is that I end up making, right? That we all make. And I've got my stable coin, because that's what I'm not cashing out to fiat. Like that would be a joke. I'm keeping it in stable coin so that I'm in control of, everything. Where was I going with this? Damn it.
The world changing.
Not being sodomized.
You said
you
weren't going to cash out, but I think what you were trying to get to was if you're going to sell something for Bitcoin during a bear market, what I would do, this is not financial advice, I'd put it into a platform or something that's going to allow me to stake my USDC and earn 5% APY or whatever. And once, Bitcoin retraces 50, 60, 80%, we all know, if you've been in here for, a few cycles, the game. Bitcoin retraces more than 50%, and what are you going to do? You're going to put that USDC that you've been staking back into Bitcoin to load up on more Bitcoin. It's a game.
That is the whole game, is to stack that up. And the end game for me is to wind up with a shitload of Bitcoin and some stables, whatever. I remember what I was going to say is that after this bull run, I want to use a platform to buy a house with crypto. I don't want to go through the traditional route. I don't want to go through a lender and a broker and all that shit. Like, I want to be able to buy a house with crypto. And I'm hopeful that, I know that we've seen that happen in the past. So that would be my goal, right? I think all of us should strive for at least something like that, to be walking the walk, talking the talk, all that shit. Like, we're here early. Let's, because that helps with adoption too. Be like, look, I made a fucking $100 million and I bought this house with crypto. I don't want to make 100 million. That's too much. I just want 50, just 50. 100 is too much.
Just 50. You brought up a really cool point. I don't know if you've been in talks with Grant Cardone and his brother Gary Cardone, but like, they're working out deals with Bitcoin already.
Okay.
Gary Cardone, I don't know if you guys know them or not, but big real estate gurus. And Gary Cardone, Grant's older brother, I believe, he's a big like Bitcoin just maxi. And he's had his brother up on board on Spaces a few times. He's like, look, Grant, you got to find a way to make deals with Bitcoin. And he has. He's listed a few big multi-million-dollar deals, and it has offered or has put up a sign pretty much saying accepting or selling in Bitcoin or whatever. So it's happening, and that's huge because these are multi-million-dollar deals. This isn't just a $200,000 house or $500,000 house. Like, this is what Bitcoin was designed for, was these big multi-million-dollar deals. Why? The transaction fees, guys. If you're moving around millions of dollars, it's going, try doing it from a bank. It's going to take days, hours, forms, X, Y, and Z. You use Bitcoin, fees are exponentially less. The transaction time is exponentially less, and boom, you can buy your house, move in as quickly as possible. Your multi-million-dollar house,
One of my favorite, absolutely. One of my favorite things that happens during the course of a show here is when we happen to say something that piques the interest of Matthew and he decides to come up here. When I see him request the stage, I get a little like a smile inside of my face. I don't show it to you guys. You don't see it. I've got a really good poker face. But inside I'm like, oh yeah, we said something he loves. Let's go. What's up, Matthew?
GM. Kind of contrary opinion here, but you should never, ever sell your Bitcoin. So you'll always be purchasing a house in cash. You'll just be leveraging your Bitcoin and taking the loan on Bitcoin. And that way your Bitcoin continues to appreciate and you never actually have to touch the Bitcoin. The point should always be
glad you came up here.
Never, ever touch the Bitcoin. This is why all the multimillionaires and billionaires who run businesses are as rich as they are. They don't have income. They don't have income. They just borrow against their shares. And then those shares appreciate, and they appreciate more than the cost of their loan. And then they pay that loan off and they have $0 in income. That's amazing. And I'm actually building out a model to do it for people on a retail level so that they can leverage their capital. We'll take out a loan for them and they can get inflows for cash and lower their overall income exposure, like their tax exposure. So all things the same, you have say $1 million in Bitcoin and you get a 6% return or whatever the case is. That return can be spread over a couple of months or a couple of years, and you can take out a loan that kind of mimics whatever that return profile looks like. And that loan, as long as you have, so the big key here is to set up all your crypto into an LLC. And this is something that I've had my eyes opened up to as part of the new work that I'm doing, which is every client that we work with is now required to put their crypto into an LLC. And this separates you from your crypto in a positive way because the government can't ever come after it. It's a limited liability company. So that's the whole point. And the taxes pass through to you as an individual. So you could have, for example, your wife or your spouse or your child as recipients or participants in it. So they could be partial owners of it. And that way you're running like a little crypto business in your house. And it's much more tax advantage because now you can put the crypto in that LLC. And then once you do that, you take out the loan and that loan becomes an operating cost for that company. And that cost comes in and you pay that loan and you pay that loan cost from the LLC and then it trickles down to your income. So now you've got, say, $100,000 loan plus half the income you would normally get from your yield. You've never touched the underlying asset and your income is actually higher and you're paying less of a tax burden.
Hey, can I add something to throw into your mix there real fast? Matthew, that is beautiful. What I do, I also have trust set up for my family. In addition to like LLCs, trusts are another asset protection thing, not so much for you, but for your loved ones. So throw that into the mix, research some trusts, guys. And that's another way for all my kids have Bitcoin in trusts. And they'll get it, when they turn 18 and then they can make their decisions there. So anyways.
That was some freaking alpha. I don't know if you just tuned in, you're going to want to go back and listen to that. A good thing is that also clip this up because that was amazing, Matthew. Thank you for that explanation. Go ahead, Don.
That was alpha, man. I just want to give y'all some info on a buddy of mine. He's an anesthesiologist, and the dude he took out a HELOC. He's been in crypto for a while. He took out a HELOC loan and he dumped it all into Solana, Ethereum, and Bitcoin, I believe. And so he's clearly up. It's a risky play, but you know, this is how people make more Bitcoin, make more Solana, because they understand the game. You know, he's able to afford the loan for his house, X, Y, and Z. You know, he told me his game plan. I was like, dude, you're freaking crazy. But you have plays like that. And then you have plays like Matthew. Matthew just blew my mind. And Matthew, I'm going to DM you because I want to ask you some questions. And, you know, if I got to pay you or whatever, by all means, because I've been in practice for 4 years now. And, you know, I'm trying to find ways to, like, you know, do things correctly. And my question to Matthew is, like, do you need to be an S corp, or can you do everything as a sole prop to, you know, you talked about the shares and taking out a loan, X, Y, and Z. Do you understand my question? It may be poorly.
No, you're in good shape. You're in good shape. For the average individual, like average retail investor, like if I was going to talk to Jay and his family, and his, knowing that he's got his age and his wife and his daughter, the trust, to Gotti's point, like the trust is also a very good vehicle to do this. LLCs are really easy to set up. They're very low like cost to maintain. So they're like ideal vehicles for individuals and like their families to sort of create a mini company for their family that allows them to kind of get these tax advantages. When you get to like the S corp and the C corp and those kinds of things, that's really more for like partnerships and external partners, and it's just kind of, it's not super in scope for most like retail people. So I think that the best thing you could do is really just look toward an LLC. And the other things we're looking at doing, because there's so many, dude, this is like the coolest thing that I've like come up with in the last couple months, is like there's so many things that retail investors do to defer taxes, and none of it applies to crypto. And so once we started saying, oh shit, you can do all the same stuff with crypto, like annuities or private placement life insurance, like there's all these things you can do, and there's a couple of companies that have already started doing them. So we're going to start to try to offer those things too. I'm going to go get my insurance license to be able to basically sell annuities. You want to get income, guaranteed income off your Bitcoin for the rest of your life? Done. We can make it happen.
Boom.
And I could second what Matthew said. Yeah, LLCs are going to be the easiest way for the average person. S corp and C corps, you have to have minutes, you have to have officers. I mean, there's a whole slew of setups, and normally you're going to have professionals set that up for you. LLCs are literally, I mean, very, very simple, easy way to. Again, this is all asset protection, right? So it's. Is it gaming and rigging a system? You damn right it is, and that's what the system's there for. And if you're smart, right? Trump was saying, "What did you pay in taxes?" I pay next to nothing. Why? Because it makes him smart. Only fools, part with 50% of your income when there's these legal loopholes that are fully legal. And again, second of all, protection, asset protection is vital. And thanks Matthew for coming up and opening this subject up, because this is beautiful. I love that you guys, these spaces, because you guys are all multimillionaires, right? You just don't know it yet. So
soon enough,
but
brother.
when that time comes, you need to be educated, because who the hell wants to pay the IRS 40% of your money and then a tax another state? 60% of your damn money that you earned gone to the government. Be wise, be smart, stick it to the system, man, and follow people that are intelligent and know what they're doing. So hats off again to Matthew. Thank you again, my friend, for bringing that up.
Heck yeah. Yeah. Matthew is he's our resident financial advisor. And I can't thank him enough for being here in our community, man. I love how smart you are, and give us some actual guidance, because without it, it's just a couple bozos with beards talking about crypto.
Well, I've never been able to grow a beard. I'm like 3 weeks. I'm at like 3 weeks now, and I like maybe have like some peach fuzz. The real alpha that everybody should be looking forward to is the booby coin. So I'm here for the boobies and the blue-footed booby coin.
Yeah, yeah. Remember, it's not what you think. It's not breasts. It's birds. Even though chickens do have breasts.
I want that as a t-shirt. I want that as a t-shirt, just like the booby, like with the Web3 breakfast hat, and it just says, "Not what you think."
That's actually a genius. Matthew is on fuego today.
Love it. Mike, what's up, dude?
Yo, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this space has been like in and out for me, so hopefully I can get this through. Going back to the HELOC, you guys are saying using HELOC. I actually did something similar. What I did was I actually used my HELOC to buy Bitcoin miners. through a hosting company. And what I did with the HELOC is as long as you can service the debt, as long as you can pay the interest cost, come income tax season, you get all that money back. So essentially that loan was like cost me nothing because I got all it back from income taxes because I paid an excess of tax on my normal work, right? So if you can do that, you can also get depreciation on the assets, which are the Bitcoin miners, which also brings down your taxes even farther. So that's another option if people want to get into. Like, you don't have to buy crypto directly, but you can just buy assets and income generating assets, and you have passive income now.
That's fire. I love that.
Yeah, you guys are awesome. We're gonna have to do like a very specific show on all of this, and we'll get. I think this is amazing. Thank you for all
with
the
like
alpha guys.
write-ups and stuff. We're gonna need like screen shares and stuff so we can actually
Charts.
like understand properly. Me dumb.
Yeah. So if you guys could go ahead, get together, create a PowerPoint presentation for us, that'd be great. We'll just do a nice little webinar. We can circle back with the folks and make sure that we hit a few more buzzwords when we reconnect back offline. In the back channels.
Win Lambo.
There's a really good book I actually recommend. It's called Tax-Free Wealth by Tom Wheelwright. It's Robert Kiyosaki's CPA, and he goes into a lot of these things to do to mitigate your taxes.
Just ordered. Thank you, Modern Canadian.
Look at that.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a book club soon. We're gonna need to. I probably won't be in it, but I'll just open up a channel for you guys to be in it. Unless we do like a article club too. Audiobook, maybe, if you guys give me something interesting enough. I will tell you, I said the other day on the show, Ready Player One. I preferred that audiobook narrated by Will Wheaton to the movie that was directed by Spielberg. So if you can get me something that's that, I'm telling you what, I could give a shit about books my entire life. I was always a sports guy. And I read articles. I read about 1,000 articles every day. So I read articles. I don't read books. But if you guys got something that is, I mean, there were times when Whitney and I were listening to that audiobook, like we would go to a restaurant and they're like, you got like a 10, 15 minute wait. Be like, all right, let's get back to the car and listen to a few more minutes of the book. It was like that, like exciting. So if you got any recommendations that are like really that captivating, let me know. Because maybe it's time. I got a lot of travel coming up, so it would be good to put something on the car. So, or
Warren Buffett in a Web3.
Oh, dude, I've read that book like 3 times, cover to cover. I love that thing. I want to, you know what I want to do?
I'm reading one called Right of a Lifetime. It's the former CEO of Disney.
All right. I want to take. We've talked about this before. I want to do this. I want to take. You just actually made a joke about the book club, but we're going to be serious about this. What I am going to do is I'm going to take my copy of Warren Buffett in a Web3 World, and I'm going to. I'm one of the wherever in either the beginning or the end. Just create like a little. This book was owned, or this book has whatever, however we want to say that, we'll say that, and then I will write my name and then I will send it to somebody, and then they have to read it, do the same thing, spend some time, get familiar with it, and then you send it on to somebody, and then
bring it to me in Nashville, and then I'll give it to someone in Toronto.
You're a genius.
Just around and start the Brotherhood of Pants.
Yeah, and then you take a picture.
I prefer
of it,
Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
My mother knows about that, and so she's gonna give herself, like, at some point, a little camper to tour around, and because I think that's what it is, right? The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants are like older ladies that like go on RV trips, camper trips.
They were like girls who like bought a pair of jeans and like mailed them to each other. I allegedly, I've never seen it.
Whatever. Maybe I was thinking something else.
It was kind of a kink fest because they like wore it and then they sweat in them and then they never washed them, and it was like
it's
all
kind of
like
super weird.
I want to smell you and like be part of you. Yeah,
that's weird.
I was
you should do that with your booty shorts
anymore. Thank you guys.
Yeah. Hey, listen.
A bunch of dudes talking about the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
I saw a little short video this morning of a gentleman who's like a jean connoisseur thing. I don't know how this hit my feed because it was a weird one, but it got my attention. So my algorithm knows me apparently. But it starts out with like these jeans, like, and they're like, I guess, very rare, unique Japanese jeans or whatever. But he said that he's worn them like over 100 times and never washed them. And here's the secret: he's got like this, you know, the belt stays on him. They go on a hanger. He's got this little concoction of like, I don't know, some fragrance, some oil, and apple cider vinegar that he sprays, you know, to the crotch and the buttocks area and the thighs, you know, the places that really sweat. And then he just hangs them outside. He said the sun is a great antimicrobial, all that stuff. It's funny that you guys are talking about these jeans that don't get washed. And that was something that I saw this morning. The world works in mysterious ways, brothers and sisters.
They say that you should put them in the freezer and not wash them, because the freezer will be antimicrobial as well. So you can have your jeans in the freezer. Like, I'm not joking.
Could you
Like,
imagine? Could you imagine how fast your testicles are going to shoot up into your belly when you put on frozen jeans?
Yeah, forget about it. I was in the pool. It's like they were in the freezer.
Yeah, they were in the freezer. I'm a grower, not a shower.
Where the sun don't shine, literally.
Yeah.
No, I'll pass.
Yeah.
So brotherhood of the traveling pants.
Yeah, there we go. But of the of your book.
That sounds a little gay. That sounds a little gay.
Yeah, we could probably find a better name for it. The Brotherhood of the Traveling Book. Although sisters, you sisters are welcome. So don't worry about that. So yeah, that's a great idea. I will bring my copy. Mr. Dell will bring it to you in Nashville. And then you've got to give it to somebody in Toronto. And then from there, we'll see how the world works. We'll see where this thing shows up. All right. On that note, hey, you know what that means? If you've heard this music before, you know it's Friday, and that means we are going to be doing pizza orders before we get out of town. I know it's 10, so we got to make them quick. Let's see, who do we got on stage? PJ, welcome to the Web3 Breakfast Club. What's your pizza order today?
I'm in Italy at the moment. No, I've got many choices of pizzas over here. On holiday. I'm from London, but I'm actually on holiday in Italy.
Oh, nice.
First time I've joined your spaces. It's amazing.
Oh, well, thank you.
The information and the content.
Appreciate it. Well,
yes.
You know, we got some smart people in the group.
No. I was what Matthew was saying. Obviously doesn't apply to me. I live in the UK. But I need to. That's the tax, and paying the tax is something that's bothering me, because when you cash out, if you cash out, got to pay the tax. I'm trying to find ways around it. Don't know if I succeed. But going back to your original point about buying property with crypto, there is one company that's doing it. They have a crypto themselves called Property,
yep.
And they're kind of growing steadily. And they have been listing properties even in the UK now. They've kind of expanded. Yeah. So
property.
It started, and it's kind of property. It's in its infancy.
Yes.
Well, I said they've been around for a few years. They've been around for a few years.
I think that's going to be one of the big RWA plays. Definitely know about property.
Yes.
Yeah, that's going to be a big one for sure. So look that one up on the charts, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, and I was in property. I made property in the last cycle in 2021. Made money from it. Took my money out. Obviously, it's come down in price. Mm-hmm. I haven't gone back into it yet. I tend not to go back into coins that I've held previously, because the crypto space, everyone likes new shiny objects.
That's a fact, and there are a lot of new shiny objects. There are a lot of them.
Yes.
All right.
And that's the way it works.
Absolutely, man. I am with you 100%. All right, PJ, what kind of pizza are you having today? We got to do our pizza orders.
What would you? I like tuna and sweet corn.
Tuna and sweet corn on your pizza?
What?
What the fuck did you just say? I'm not
tuna. So we're in Italy. They have like a seafood. We have like a seafood pizza.
Oh, well, no, we can't be rude, Frank. We can't be rude.
He's in Italy, so when in Rome, this is the best time to fucking launch.
Yeah, they like to have fish on it. They like to have fish on their pizzas, and actually it tastes quite nice.
I got a stomach ache. I didn't mean to come in strong there.
Rub the face.
Yeah. That's funny. Holy smokes. Tuna and sweet corn. That is probably a pizza I will never try.
Yeah, it's a margarita. It's a margarita base.
Okay.
Right, okay. And they put sweet corn, tuna, and red onions on it.
Holy moly. All right. Well, At some point, I'll try maybe a bite of it. But ooh, is it like tuna fish, like sashimi tuna?
Seafood. No, it's not like tuna. It's kind of like tuna steaks. They kind of chop the tuna steak up and they put it on there.
Okay. All right.
Stick
The
it
fish
meaty,
is still
baby.
flopping.
Jesus Christ, Nittlies. All right, Neil, what's your pizza order?
Bro, my mind's blown, but I'm good. I'm gonna go with something easy. All meats with some extra mozzarella balls.
There it is. There it is. Extra meats and some mozzarella. Frank, what you got today?
Well, I only came up here because I got offended when you were making fun of growers, not showers. So we're just gonna go with a good old sausage pizza today.
Extra sausage.
Yeah, small sausage, like the little sausage balls.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Just little crumbles. Got you. I got you. Mike,
I was
I
talking about
find
Vienna
comfort.
sausages on there. Little Viennas on there.
yeah, little smokies. Get them little smokies. Oh, geez. Mike, what you got for us today? What kind of pizza you getting?
I'm going with pepperoni, bacon, red onion, mushroom.
Okay. I can jive on that. Doom.
Hey, what's up, Chains? Mr. Dude, Jacob, Neil, MK, and Frank. Hey, Frank, you stole my thunder, but I would like one cock of pepperoni on my pizza.
Son of a gun. You're a son of a gun, M-Kid. What kind of pizza do you want today?
One of my favorites, it sounds a little weird. You've heard of black olive pizza, right? Try green olive pizza. Now, if you have a sodium issue, it may put you in the hospital, but green olive pizza, man, that's something to try.
Yeah, I just made my tummy.
Oh yeah, I don't know what's wrong.
That made my tummy turn, baby. I tell restaurants that I have an olive allergy. I despise those things so much. But hey, shout out to you, brother.
I'm out here on that one.
That's your pizza, not mine. Woo, woo, give me the shivers. Jacob, what's your pizza order for today?
I'm going pepperoni, cashews, black olives, and some hot honey.
Oh yeah, you and those black olives. All right.
So we're going to skip. We're going to skip past the cashew part. Never mind.
I tried the cashews. It was not terrible. It was on the colder pizza when the cashews got a chance to get a little bit softer. That's when I didn't mind it, but they didn't quite get soft in the bake for me. But it was the after effect. That's when I realized, like, okay,
haters gonna hate. I'm still gonna appreciate. You know what I mean? Haters gonna hate. I'm still gonna appreciate.
Taters gonna tate. M-Kid, what's your pizza? Oh, you gave us one. I'm sorry.
My back to the. I already turned your stomach. Want me to turn it again?
No. I forgot. Yeah, the order of everything on my space moved around when Dr. Don came in. So I think Dr. or Matt. Okay, so Matthew was next, but now Dr. Don is in the order of I think where it was. It screwed the whole thing up. My apologies, everybody. So Matthew, what is your pizza order?
I'll take a Papa John's Bitcoin pizza with extra pepperoni, please.
Now let me ask you a question. Are you eating those pepperoncinis or are you throwing them away?
I'm going to eat them and then save my Bitcoin pizza because we don't spend or eat Bitcoin. We just eat the toppings.
Okay. All right.
Good man. Good man.
There it is. I mean, he's speaking truth here. All right, Dr. Don, what is your pizza order for today?
Supreme pizza for me, please. Supreme with extra cheese, stuffed crust from Pizza Hut.
Okay. There you go. Mr. Dude, final order of the day.
Somebody fucking
I got a question for you guys. Who's down for some pineapple on their pizza?
I don't mind it. If it's there and that's all they got, I don't mind it. I won't order it, but I don't mind it.
Today's one, I'm totally fine with the wine.
And then other question.
to cleanse my palate. Oh, go ahead.
Ranch on your pizza or ketchup on your pizza?
Oh, neither.
I have ranch. My daughter's 7. She has ketchup. So
ketchup on pizza?
As an Italian, I'm deeply offended.
Oh, I am going to rug the space on that. Ketchup on pizza? I don't even know if we could be friends
That's
anymore.
what makes you rug the space. That's what makes you rug the space.
Bro, half a bottle of ketchup on that pizza. That's all I'm going to say.
I'm just gonna have pepperoni and cheese just to cleanse my palate.
There it is. I don't even know if I can eat pizza anymore
Hey,
because of
y'all
you guys.
don't forget to send in your proof of pizza.
Proof of pizza. Tag me. Or you can tag Web3 Breakfast. It doesn't matter. I'll get them both. But yeah, send in those proof of pizzas tonight. You know I'm going to. I think we're home making pizzas tonight. So I assume it'll just be a pepperoni, garlic, and banana pepper kind of night. But who knows? We may go out. I'm not really sure. The last I heard, we may be making our own pizza dough today. So I guess that's where we are. I hope you guys have a great rest of your afternoon. Unsure if I'll be back at 4 p.m. or not. I try to not do Friday afternoons, but because I didn't do one yesterday, I feel like I owe it to myself to get into the YouTube's algorithm again. So I'll let you guys know.
We're ramping up to Nashville next week, baby. Let's go.
Absolutely. I cannot wait. If you guys are going to be in Nashville, make sure you connect. There's a lot of events. I did post the party list in the Web3 Breakfast chat group. So make sure you guys check that out. Let's get on some RSVPs. I did RSVP for the Blunts and Brunch event. So Mr. Dude and I, plus 2 more. So let me know if you're coming. We're going to party. All right. I think that pretty much does it for today. Anybody got anything else before we get on out of here? No. All right.
Great space, guys. Thanks for inviting us up. I appreciate the love, guys.
Absolutely, brother. Anytime. I like to say this is a show for the community by the community. This is all we are, is just community members, and just happen to host a format and have some amazing people that tune in. So if you guys tuned in, you watched over on X, make sure you smash the like on the way out of here. And if you are watching on X, make sure you hit the heart, just like that, just once. You just doesn't hurt, doesn't cost you anything. Appreciate you guys. Love you. Have a if we don't see you this weekend, or if we don't see you tonight, have a great weekend. We'll be back Monday morning. Ciao for now, babies.